Hi, my name is Karen Lorre, and I used to have chronic pain, but now I have chronic pleasure. And people ask me how I was able to shift that. What I didn't know when I was shifting it, but now I understand, is that we have in our brains what are called hedonistic hotspots. These are pleasure centers. They're devoted entirely to pleasure. And the more that we focus on things that give us pleasure, the more these pleasure centers grow. We also have pain centers. And what a lot of people do is they will focus on their pain and it will grow their pain center. You don't want to do that unless you like the pain, which that's a whole different subject. But what you want to do is start focusing on pleasure. And when you focus on pleasure, and it can be something like the scent of an essential oil, when you breathe in that essential oil and you keep breathing it in for maybe a minute or so, you are focusing on the pleasure of that oil, the scent of it, and what it's doing is it's causing your body to start to grow more neurons in your pleasure centers. I think that's so awesome. You can eat a great meal, and if you're focused on the pleasure of the food, if you're focused on the pleasure of the texture, if you're focused on the pleasure of the conversation with whomever you're with, you are now growing new neurons of pleasure. If you were to write out things that you appreciate, or things that you're thankful for, or things that you're grateful for, as you do that, your heart will start to swell and you start to feel that yummy, yummy feeling of appreciation. And as you do that, you are growing neurons of pleasure. What will happen if you keep focusing on things like these, whether it's something that I just mentioned or something like getting a massage or going for a walk in nature or looking at something beautiful or laughing with a friend or doing something creative, drawing or writing or sewing or cooking, anything that you like. As you do these things, you are funding these pleasure centers. And every time you fund them, they are growing more neurons. And you have the capacity to have these pleasure centers overtake the pain centers. So that, like in my case, even if I have something painful for just a moment, let's say I hit my knee on the coffee table, I will have the pain long enough for me to know, hey, move over. Don't keep walking in that same direction. But the pain will not continue because my body will be flooded with the pleasure that it's always flooded with right away. I never focus on the pain. And so I've had so many experiences where I've been able to show myself that as long as I don't focus on the pain, I mean, if there's something like bleeding, you stop the blood, but I don't focus on the pain of it, and I start to immediately get into a place of pleasure. And granted, I have focused on pleasure for many, 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 many years. So I have these pleasure centers fully, uh, they're just fully funded all the time. But if I do have something that's painful, I'll start focusing on the pleasure. Maybe I'll start appreciating something, or I'll step outside and look at the trees and see the beauty in nature, or I'll see a beautiful friend of mine that I love and connect with them, or I'll get a massage, or I'll kiss my beloved, or something fun, something that gives pleasure. And as I do that, I literally forget about the pain and my body is flooded with the pleasure. And then I'm flooded with pleasure and my body heals things so fast. It's crazy how fast your body can heal things when you are focused on pleasure. I hope that helps. I love you. I want you to have all the pleasure that you can have. We live in a beautiful world. There's so much to appreciate, and there's so much in you to appreciate and to enjoy. So enjoy everything. I love you. I appreciate you. I respect you. I adore you. I admire you.